So, just female students? No, no male students. Okay, okay, dear students, we will start our lecture so that you will not wait anymore, and the others may join us later, maybe. Okay, hello, and very good evening, and happy to see you all here. Okay, during the lecture, if there's a problem while hearing me, okay, just send a message, please, through the chat. Okay, so I hope you are all safe and sound, and I ask Allah to save us all. Okay, so to save us all from this infection or disease, you know, coronavirus. And we hope, inshallah, we'll meet. Inshallah, we'll meet, inshallah, soon in our university. Okay, we miss our university much. Okay, I think through registering through 2 videos already sent to you through the Google Classroom. Some of you said that okay, we have a problem in in turning on that or those videos. So I'll try to go fast as possible to explain again. Okay, some of those issues or terms related much to translation. Okay, as you can see here, we'll start with the competence. Okay, what's competence? Okay, actually, this is taken from linguistics. And as you can see here at the last line of this definition, Chomsky's linguistics. Chomsky distinguishes 2 terms related to linguistics, that is performance and competence. And actually, competence here, it is the ability of translation. From where comes this ability? It comes from the knowledge, how much he reads articles, theses, you know, books. Okay, those. Okay, and actually training courses. These compile the knowledge. Okay, so through reading, through hearing, through going through those courses, there will come your knowledge, your compiled knowledge, or already deposited knowledge. So this knowledge, in the terms of the translation, we call this competence. So it is your ability to deal with texts. It is your ability to handle some problems related to translation. So this is called competence. Okay. Yes, you can choose whatever written here to okay, but this is the main idea of competence. So it is your knowledge, your ability to handle problems in translation, and actually it's taken from linguistics. Okay, the next term, consecutive interpreting. Okay, consecutive interpreting. Okay, any problem? Certainly, as we have said, if you have got a problem with voice, just confirm that okay, we cannot hear, so that maybe we could set another lecture. Okay, consecutive interpreting. Consecutive interpreting. It is like in this way. Okay, in official meetings, usually presidents, okay, and for example, two parties, two political parties, two high-ranking officials from two different languages. For example, English and Arabic. For example, the president of the United States and the president of Iraq. Okay, maybe the two presidents are not speaking each other's language. For example, the president of the United States cannot speak Arabic, so they need an interpreter. Okay, so it is like in this way. Someone is speaking, for example, 3 or 4 sentences, and then comes the role of the interpreter. So we call this interpreting rather than translation. Why? Because it is oral. It's not written. Okay, someone is speaking, for example, the president is speaking, and he pauses for a while, and then comes the role of the interpreter or the translator. Here it is oral, the translator, we call it interpreter. So he gives the translation of what the president's already said. After finishing his translation or interpreting, okay, then the president, okay, continues his speech, 4 or 5 sentences, and then comes the role of the interpreter. So in this way, it is consecutive, one by one, consecutive. One follows the other. So it is called consecutive interpreting. Okay, the next term is context. Next term is context. Okay, it is the environment of the message. The environment of the message. Okay, for example, and I think I've given you much regarding this term while we were in class. Okay, it is something very important. For example, in the class, for example, when I say, okay, it's hot. It's hot. My message is to say it's hot. Okay, but you are, as students, you have to know that, okay, what's meant here behind or the message behind this short sentence is that, for example, you have to turn on the fans or open the door or open the windows. So the context of my message is very important. Okay, how can we make use the context? Okay, you can use we have what they call it outer context and inner context. Okay, yes, we said it is something very important in translation. Why? Because the message, the meaning of the message will completely different if you use it outside a context. So inside a context, it will be something else. Okay, I'll give you here also another example. For example, when you we have got here some newcomers, new students joined us. Okay, welcome. Can you hear me? Okay, for example, the word spring. The word spring. You know the word spring. Okay, we have many meanings for the word spring. You may open the dictionary. You find maybe 2 or 3 pages meanings for context. For spring. But okay, for example, it is الربيع أو هذا okay, we call it, for example, النابض. Okay, النابض. Yes, النابض. Okay, we have some problems here with some. Okay, okay. Try to sign out if you. Okay, please, for those who cannot hear me, please try to sign in. And if you have a problem, sign out and re-sign again. Okay. Okay. So yes, spring. Okay, we have, for example, الربيع, النابض, أو يقفز, أو نافورة. Okay, you have many meanings for spring. But yes, within context. Okay, within context, yes, we'll definitely know which one or which meaning is intended. Which meaning is intended. Okay, which meaning is intended by the writer? Which meaning is intended by the writer? Okay, we'll just check the messages. Some students, they say they have problem with the voice. Okay, we'll try to register, please. We'll try to register those messages. Okay, we'll continue. Try to record this lecture and send it through the classroom, Google Classroom. Okay. So yes, the context is important to define which meaning is intended by the speaker or the writer. If you have got a written text. Okay, cultural translation. Cultural translation. But before going through cultural translation, we have to know what's meant by culture. What's meant by culture? Actually, yes, it is ways of life, ways of living, daily life. Culture actually is very important. Culture is very important. And yes, it is knowing culture. Okay, is knowing the language. Okay, if you don't know culture of any language, you don't know the language. Yes, and I think in one of the videos I gave you an example of the dog. We know what is a dog. Okay, in the for example, if you are translating from Arabic into English or vice versa, yes, you have to know the difference in culture regarding this item. Regarding this item. Okay, in the Arabic region, it is a discarded animal. It's we don't love dogs, but in the okay, some are trying to join us. Maybe there's a problem. Maybe weak internet. We hope, inshallah, we fix this problem maybe in the future. And you fix the problem. I think I don't have a problem. Everything goes well here with me. Okay. Yes. Yes, it is. We don't love dogs here. We don't love dogs here in the Arabic region, but in the English region, it's a lovely animal. They love dogs. It's a pet. It's one of the members of their houses. Okay, they miss this animal. So while translating this item, I mean the dog, in between English and Arabic, you have to be careful. Okay. For example, if you want to insult somebody in the Arabic region, you will say, I'm so sorry for this. They say you are the son of dog. I'm so sorry for this, but this is to give you the impression that it is a discarded animal. We don't like dogs. But in the Western region, yes, it's a lovely animal, and it is one of the members of their houses. Okay. So in translation, we have to be careful. Okay. This is culture. This is what's meant by culture. Cultural translation is translating those items related to culture, related to daily life, relating to customs, habits, meals, ways of greetings, all those things related to culture. So translating this is actually it is one of the most problematic areas in translation, to translate cultural items. Okay, we'll try to move to the next. Okay, descriptive and prescriptive translation. Okay, please, I'll wait for a while. Can you confirm that you can see the slides on the show? Please, can you send a message? Can you see the slides? Just on the chat, we can see. Yes, send the message. We can see the slides, the show. Yes, you can see. Yeah, yes. Okay, you can see the slides. Okay. Okay, so descriptive and prescriptive translation. Descriptive and prescriptive translation. Actually, we for this term we need a whole lecture to define, but I'll give as short as possible discussion of what's meant by descriptive and prescriptive. Actually, there are two approaches, two theories of translation: descriptive approach and prescriptive approach. Okay, as the name says, descriptive. So we are describing translations. We are describing translations rather than prescribing translations. Okay, so the descriptive approach. Okay, but before going to the descriptive approach, because it is the older one is the prescriptive. Okay, in the prescriptive approach, it says, okay, when you read a book and it is a prescriptive or adopting the prescriptive approach, the author says, okay, you have to follow such and such rules if you want to get a successful translation. If you want to get a successful translation, you have to follow such and such rules. This is prescriptive. So it is like command. Okay, commanding translators to follow certain rules, get successful translation. While the descriptive approach, no. Okay, it's like okay, oh, it's based on something universal. Okay, for example, if we have a novel in English and it is translated into Arabic. For example, one of those well-known works of Shakespeare, for example, Othello. You know Othello. Okay, it's translated into Arabic as Utayl. Okay, we have actually many translations of Othello. Okay, we'll take the opinions. Okay, we'll spread questionnaires استبيانات to a well-known translators. Okay, give you our impression of, for example, we have, 5 translations for Othello. Give me your impression regarding those translations. Okay, so what's your opinion regarding this translation? Okay, so most of the translators selected one of those translators. They say this is a successful translation. So we'll go back to this translation. To see why it is successful. We'll try to analyze this translation. What is this message from one of the students? Okay. So yes, we'll continue. I've tried to register this this lecture, and I'll try to post it as soon as possible. Okay. So yes, most translators said one of the translation is the best one. So we'll try to analyze this translation. What makes this translation successful? Okay, we'll try to identify the main features of this translation that made it successful. Is it the style? Is it the structure? It is the grammar? Is it the outline, the main outline? Why? So why it is successful translation? Okay, after analyzing this, the translation, we will come out with features or guidelines for a successful translation. So this is the difference between descriptive translation and prescriptive translation. Okay, domestication versus foreignization. Okay, maybe for descriptive versus prescriptive, I'll give you, because it's somehow not easy to understand, I'll give an explanation in Arabic. Okay. طبعا يعني عبارة عن نظريتين الآن مقسمة: نظريات الترجمة، وهي النظرية الوصفية اللي هي descriptive، والنظرية اللي هي يسموها يعني أحيانا الأمرية. يعني يجب أن الأمرية أو اللي هي يعني خلينا نقول هي الجايدد اللي هي prescriptive guided. يعني هاي البرسكريبتيف يعني خلينا نقول بدءا من نايدة و يعني المنظرين في الترجمة اللي قبل نايدة واللي بعد نايدة. طبعا اوكي اللي قبل نايدة واللي بعد نايدة يقولون انه يجب ان تتبع خلينا نقول التعليمات التالية للحصول على ترجمة. يجب أن تتبع التعليمات التالية. يعني الأمر إلى المترجمين أنه يجب اتباع قواعد معينة في الترجمة. هذا تقريبا يعني المحتوى النظرية. أما النظرية الوصفية descriptive، وهي طبعا الأحدث، تقول أنه لا، مو أمرية. الأمر ليس يعني أنه تأمر المترجم باتباع تعليمات معينة، ولكن بالشكل التالي. يوزعون مثلا عندنا خلينا نقول عمل معين لشكسبير، وهو مثلا نظرية خلينا نقول مسرحية عطيل. وهذا يعني أوثيلو، ومترجمة للغة العربية ترجمات عديدة جدا. فيختارون مثلا 5 أو 6 ترجمات من الترجمات البارزة أو الواضحة جدا، وتعطى إلى أشخاص مختصين بالترجمة. وطبعا هذول الأشخاص راح يقرؤون محتوى الترجمة، ويختارون خلينا نقول 2 أو خلينا نقول وحدة أو 2 من هذه الترجمات اللي يظنون أنه هذه الترجمات هي ترجمات جيدة مقبولة، ويبلشون يبدأ تحليل لهذه الترجمة، ترجمة أو ترجمتين. يبدأ بالتحليل. وبعد تحليل يعني تحليل الأسلوب، الستايل، تحليل الجرامر، ستراكشر، يعني هاي الأمور اللي نعرفها بالترجمة، راح يخرج بتوصيات إلى المترجمين أنه حتى تحصل على ترجمة ناجحة بإمكانك أو تخلي في بالك بعض من هذه الأمور. أنه يعني خلينا نقول أسلوب الترجمة يعني يكون بطريقة معينة تكون مقبولة إلى القارئ. طبعا هذا الفرق يعني أنا أحاول أنه ما أستخدم اللغة العربية، ولكن قد أنه يعني يحصل هنا إرباك، لأنه شوية يعني جزء مصطلحات شوية يعني غريبة عليكم. يعني descriptive، وهي نظريات، عبارة عن نظريات في الترجمة. يعني يجب على كل يعني دارس للترجمة أن يتعرف على هذه النظريات. Okay, I think we'll stop here. Okay, we'll stop here. Okay. أحبابنا